What up, 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 America? What's going on? I hope everybody's well today. It's your boy. It's a sleepy boy today, though. You know what I'm saying? Energy low. I just hope my Cowboys don't play the way I'm sounding right now tomorrow, but it's all good. We in the building, y'all. It's Brooklyn Beers and Ball Sports Show. Y'all know what we do. It is the final week of the NFL season. And listen, it has been a long ride, but we are here finally. We getting ready to talk about some of these, lockup games and some potential playoff switches in terms of positioning. So we're going to talk about some games that have got some ramifications to it, but nevertheless, y'all know what we do. Don is in the crib. I got my man, Scoop Lover, my brother, SKRAPP Lover, the other, representing Philly in the building. And it's your boy, Rod. We need y'all to like, share, subscribe. Come on through, do what you do. We appreciate all the love y'all been giving us, you know what I'm saying? So please, Facebook, YouTube, you know what to do. Make sure on YouTube you hit that little notification button so everything that come live here on Brooklyn Beers and Ball Sports Show, you are the first to get that joint and be able to rock out to the content that we sending forth. So listen, we're excited. It's about to be on and popping. Philly's in the building. It's still Don's world, no matter whatever happens. Then it's your boy, Cowboy Nation, represented. Let's go. Let's do this. Don, what's good with you, man? What y'all fellas up to, SKRAPP?
It's all good, man. I think I think by you saying it's Don's world, you're trying to jinx the Niners. That's what I really think. No, it's Don's world. Say that February 11th around 9 p.m. 10 p.m. Eastern. That is my world when confetti and Niners are just exuberant with celebration. That's when you should do it. Don't do it now.
No, I'm not going to do it.
Your world. No, don't do that.
So you're not claiming the world right now?
No, don't give that to me now. Don't give that to me now. But it's all good. This is a good week. Unfortunately for us, someone that we had picked up late in the season, just as depth, he got hurt. Jason Verrett. And he's battled back by so many injuries. I think 2 ACL injuries, a labrum injury, and now I think he had another injury that's season ending, and we just got him. It's unfortunate. He battles back every year to try to get healthy. I mean, he was a Pro Bowler in 2014, so it's unfortunate, but that's why you add depth, and it's all good.
Facts.
But without further ado, let's get into it. All right. So week 18, as it's been stated, this is it's a pivotal week for a lot of teams. Not number one seeds, though. Number one seeds can rest everybody. I think we're resting the coach. Everybody, we're going to have just
slippers and pajamas on.
Everybody's just chilling, right? So there are a few pivotal games that will decide what teams actually make the playoffs. And we'll start off with the Texans and the Colts. Now,
thanks.
Texans have been a very surprising team, given that they had a rookie quarterback, a rookie wide receiver that has shown. Tank Dell, for a period in the season, took the league by storm. Really, really exciting player. And I think it boils down to who do we want to see? Would we rather see the Texans, that they have a pretty exciting team, or do we want to see the Colts with Gardner Minshew? And, they have, Taylor, but do we really want to see them in the playoffs? That AFC, what is that? AFC South?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be, it seems like the Jaguars have fallen off completely. I think Trevor Lawrence is going to try his best to get back, but I don't know what's going to come of that. I would like to see the Texans advance. Of course, there's ties to the 49ers. I think CJ Stroud is a super exciting, up-and-coming quarterback that is going to really make some noise.
Should have been a number one pick. He should have been a number one pick.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely. But I will say this.
Right.
I think his circumstance, his landing spot overall has been better than
absolutely
Bryce Young's. You know,
yeah.
I think
absolutely.
we won't even discuss the dumpster fire that is in Charlotte, right? From the owner to the players to you name it. We're not going to even discuss that. So we have to, in all honesty, give Bryce Young another year to see. I mean, but he's the size of my son though, so he made his. I don't know. My son's 11, but you know, I think he's going to have to work on a lot of stuff. They're going to have to invest in the offensive line, weapons, in order for him to really flourish, because it's not college anymore, right? You're not going to have all these, you know, a plethora of receivers that you can just throw the ball around to, and they have such separation that it's you know. So we'll see what happens. But what do you guys say about the Texans?
I think the Texans, they got a good chance to make the playoffs, maybe even win a game, depending on who they match up against in the first round. I would actually like to see them win a game. You know, maybe I'm wishing more than, you know, that they're going to give, but they are exciting. They're young. That Nico Collins is good. They got a couple good running backs. You know, the defense is serviceable. I mean, it's definitely a feel good story. You know, the rookie quarterback. You know, they came out with a slow start, but it seemed like he was putting up numbers just like every week. You know, just from the fantasy perspective. You know, he was
definitely
he was a good fantasy quarterback. So you know, fantasy, it comes from what you actually do on the field. So he was definitely doing something good on the field if his fantasy numbers was up like that. But you know, I would definitely like to see them over the Colts, because even though, you know, shout out to Shane Steichen, he need to get fired so he can come back and, you know, run this offense the right way. But yeah, I would. Nobody want to see the Colts. Nobody want to see Minshew mania. Nobody want to see Jonathan Taylor, because he's going to mess around. And, you know, I don't wish it on nobody, but he's always a tackle away from, you know, limping off the field and missing, you know, 3 or 4 games or something like that. So yeah, you know, I would absolutely love to see the Texans in. I don't know who they got this week.
The Colts.
Oh, they do play the Colts.
Yeah,
so they're playing to get in.
Yeah.
Oh man. So yeah, that should be a good game. Yeah, but I like
it's today actually.
Oh, okay.
Yes, they got some decent Saturday games.
Let me get on FanDuel and, you know, make my contribution in a little bit. But yeah, I would like to see the Texans win. They in Houston or in Indy?
Indy.
I don't know if that really matters. I'm going with the Texans. I want to see them win. I want to see somebody new in the playoffs, man.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I'm just sharing this with a whole bunch of some.
No, I mean, like you said, you got to buy this week, man. You really?
I did.
Yeah.
I mean, D, you could have actually not even done the show today. You could have just chilled. You know what I'm saying? You could have, you know, just sat out like everybody else in San Francisco. See, there you go. That's how it's gonna look tomorrow, right? That's it. I'm out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They're gonna have jerseys and sweatpants on, man. All the starters gonna have jerseys and sweatpants on, man.
Exactly. That's the jersey. The whole crew, right? Yo,
what's going on, James? We got to give James a shout out from the UK, who's joining us. You know,
what's up, James?
That's our
shout out
UK
to my
affiliate.
uncle. That's my uncle, Nelson Adams. That's my uncle.
Nelson.
Oh, yes.
What's up, Uncle? What's good, man?
Go Birds.
Oh, Nelson.
That's what's up. We appreciate it.
All right. So, do you guys have a score? What do you guys think is going to happen with this game?
Well, Rod didn't give his take. You don't got to take
go ahead, Rod.
It's
too early.
The same.
Still too early.
It's still too early. It's still too early. But I think
you know, Rod only wants to talk about the Cowboys.
One game, yeah, exactly.
You know, so it's the NFL's only comes down to one team. So you know, that's how it'll be. Win or lose, it's all about the Cowboys. But They got to win this game. But I think, and I don't know, Don, you might have to correct me on this. I'm not sure. I think because obviously got the Steelers fighting for a spot. So if this team wins, it's still. I think they don't. Whoever wins this game doesn't control their own destiny, because they could actually win this division if Jacksonville loses to Tennessee. So I think there's some probability for either team. If they win, they still won't clinch a spot necessarily. You know what I'm saying? If Jacksonville happens to lose, and then of course if only one team can come out the South, then that'll just be the division winner. So they've got to rely on some other teams to help them out. You know what I'm saying? Whoever does win this game.
When are they gonna break Tennessee up? Like They ain't had enough of each other yet.
Well, Henry's a free agent this year, so.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
sure
All right. I'm about to say they need to break them up, man. They like a bad boy band.
Ryan Tannehill is going to be the starting quarterback because Will Levis, I think he has an ankle injury, so he's done. He had some promise, but certainly there's talk that Mike Vrabel is also having an issue with ownership, and there's some dysfunction there, so he might be leaving. And then there's talks that he might be going to the Patriots as their next head coach. I've heard a lot of stuff. Wow. I don't know how that's accurate it is, but some things certainly. This is not on our list of things to discuss, but I certainly think that Bill Belichick is done with the Patriots. I know when is that much stuff coming out, it all can't be fake, right?
Yeah.
It's
now, is he done with them or they done with him?
Well,
mutual.
Might be mutual.
Well, they might say it as mutual just out of respect for someone that gets you 6 rings.
Right.
But they're done with him. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, Robbie Kraft is done with him. It's like when you say as much as you say, it all can't be fake, right? All the things that are leaking out, right? It's kind of like a Cat Williams, right? Some of that stuff has to be accurate, right? But we won't talk about Cat Williams.
Yeah.
That was
yikes.
Some explosive stuff.
Yo,
Yikes.
bro,
man.
Yikes. Yeah.
All right.
Cringeworthy.
Yeah. But I will say this: there is a certain sound to truth, right? When you hear truth, it hits you a different way than rumors and what we think it is, and there's a possibility. There's a certain sound to truth. So I'll just leave that there. But what's your score? Rod, you don't have a take because
the Cowboys.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, I got Houston winning the game. I'm going with Houston. I'm going 23-17. Houston.
23-17. You got Scrap.
I got I'm also gonna pick Houston 31-24.
31-24. Okay, I'm going with Houston also. I would think it's 27-14. I think they're gonna do what they need to do, kind of shut down Gardner Minshew. Although he's
he can pretty much shut himself down.
Yeah, he's serviceable. He does his thing, but I don't think
he can shut himself down. He's not that good.
Okay, next game we'll talk about. This should perk up Nelson and all of the Eagle fans. We're going to talk about the Eagles and the Giants. Okay, so the Eagles. Okay, so talking to Scrap on text during the week, he said he's back and he's renewed by maybe what AJ Brown said, what his discussion was. And we know AJ Brown has had bad body language, a few incidents on the sideline, and it seemed like there was some dysfunction. And of course, we know winning cures all, right? But the Eagles, the way they've been playing, that's not the way you want to go into the playoffs, right? So they've been kind of limping in. They've had some losses that they shouldn't have had, given how they started the season. And although we have said, we've seen teams, they have won in spite of some of the glaring deficiencies we've seen on the team. Long story short, 1 week after a loss that they shouldn't have had, AJ Brown was asked by some, reporters, and he didn't have anything to say. And I think that was probably the right approach. If you don't have anything to say, don't say anything at all. He came back and kind of clarified some of his takes or how he was feeling about the team. I think this game is important to them for their psyche. I don't think it's going to change the seeding, and the NFL is very smart not to have one game at 1 and one game at night, so that teams, if they're out of it, they have nothing to play for. Because remember, the NFL is based on entertainment. And so they want their best product. They want these teams to play as hard as they can and feel like something's on the line till the end. And so there's not going to be any scoreboard watching. They're going to have to play. And I would think that the Eagles are hoping that the Cowboys fall, right? So they can still get that number 2 seed. But Time will tell. What do you guys say?
I think that, to be honest, they I really can't quite put my finger on it, but I did like AJ's approach, because like I said before, the worst thing you can do, the worst thing you can do to an athlete, after a star athlete, after a bad loss, is stick a microphone in front of his face. So I feel like him coming out saying the things that he said, some things was like news to me, because remember, we crucified Nick when he said that, we was hoping to get a pass interference. AJ, came out and, took the hit for that and said, that's not what he called. We improvised. We went off script. So he was actually covering for us by saying that. So, I think that was huge of him, because he could have just let Nick fall on the sword, So, I mean, like, what, like his whole press conference or whatever, just media availability, that made me like look at him different. Like, okay, maybe this dude is really trying to, right the wrongs that he had, so to speak. But yeah, like I said, people get frustrated, man. He's no different. We're all human. Okay. When you used to winning, playing a certain way, and you don't get that type of production, and you feel like, it's just everything's going left. Of course you're going to be, irate, mad, or whatever you want to call it. I haven't played one snap, and I'm probably the maddest player on the team after these games. I do everything but break that very expensive TV that I watch the games on. I could temper my anger, but at the same time, those players, because they're on national TV, national spotlight, so they know they're going to get asked all the worst possible questions. Hey, what do you think of the coach making this play? What do you think of this? What do you think of Jalen throwing a screen pass? What do you think of them? All that, and you don't really want to say how you feel, especially when you're angry. So the best thing to do is what he did. If you don't have nothing right, good to say, don't say anything. But as far as the game, like, I'm having mixed emotions. I kind of rather we just rest the starters and just, pack it on in and see if we go into Tampa Bay or New Orleans, because I don't really right now, like, but I do want to win, because like you said, winning heals all. So I think this is a thing where we, when your shot is off, you just need to see one go into the basket to let you know that you can still, make the no. We're not calling for Nick's head. No, we're not. That happens when anytime anybody loses a couple games. Nick has an excellent record over the last 3 years. We've been in the playoffs every year. We're not imploding. We just hit a rough patch. It happens to everybody.
Do you think that the 49ers broke you guys? What do you think?
Nah, the 49ers didn't break us. They just showed people, hey, the middle of the field's wide open, throw the ball there all day. That's all they showed. They didn't break us. If they broke us, we would have felt totally out of playoff, contention, and just been crying every week. It happens. It's part of the game.
I agree.
We'll get it together. We'll get it together. Now, after this week, everybody's 0-0, man. After this week, everybody's 0-0. So we're gonna get that train moving again. And we'll see you in Levi in a couple weeks. We'll see you in Levi in a couple weeks. Absolutely. Yeah. So we gonna do what we gotta do against these Giants. Matter of fact, I'm changing my whole team.
I'm getting my energy back.
Yeah, exactly. We gonna punch on the Giants
that
tomorrow.
Caffeine drip is kicking in. Look, Rod is getting.
We're gonna punch on the Giants tomorrow, like we supposed to, and then we're gonna send Mr. Howell a nice little care package, say, do me one. They're gonna do what they gotta do against Dallas. We're gonna get that, we're gonna get that division. And then, let a couple people come up to the city, man, to see what it's like. Man, I changed my whole tune thanks to AJ, man. Because before I was just ready to pack it on in. And I talk about donating the playoff spot. Right. Yeah, man. I'm like, man, no, man. You know what? I'm gonna hold off on the mothballs, man. I'm gonna keep my jersey out of the mothballs for a couple more weeks, man. We ready to go, baby. Like all I need, like I said before, all I need is the offense, come do what they do, because we know what the defense is. Like they're not gonna surprise us. Okay. So I need the offense to, play like the offense that been playing all year. Come out quick, long sustained drives, smart play calling, even if it's obvious, if it's, 2nd and 3, 3rd and 2, run the ball. Okay. We don't gotta throw bombs just to show that we can go to our money. We got a big line, fast, strong running backs, use them. Okay. Do what you got to do, man. Let's come out, get this W, and let Rod be worrying about the Commanders or whatever they is down there, man. Next week, man, it's a whole nother ball game, baby. This is just a formality right here, man. I feel like we're gonna handle business tomorrow, man. What you say, Rod? You done stressed and got the Cowboys.
Yeah. You making bold predictions about being in Levi. You know what I'm saying? In a couple of weeks, that kind of woke me up a little bit. I was like, caffeine hit.
Absolutely.
Right there. You know what I'm saying? So you know, but the Eagles, though, man. The thing is, and I know, Scrap, you've been saying it for weeks. The defense is what it is, but that's what's going to hurt y'all. You can't just think that your offense is going to ride y'all into another Super Bowl. No way. That defense is not even regular season worthy. So it's no way you're going to go in the playoffs with better teams and think that defense is going to carry you. And like the Cardinals, now I can see, because everybody was talking about the Cardinals all year, because Dallas lost to the Cardinals. Well, obviously the Cardinals, maybe they're not as bad as we all think they are, right? And so when you look at that game y'all played last week, they ran the ball and your defense let you down. They gave up the winning touchdown and left y'all nothing there to be able to counter, right?
Well, in their defense, the Cardinals did have a double agent on it. They had the dude that patrolled our sideline, so he knows our weaknesses. So what's y'all excuse?
What kind of excuse is that? What do you mean? Who?
It's not an excuse.
I'm just saying. Because of your coach? Because of the coach? Nah, that's not an excuse. Nah, that's Nah, he don't know. He don't know. He don't know. I mean, he know player tendencies, but that y'all still were supposed to dominate that game. Y'all was supposed to win that game. You were supposed to win that. We had three offensive linemen out, and when we played, we had three starters out. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is that the defense, I don't care what that offense does, which still ain't gonna be much of nothing. To me, if the Eagles have not fixed anything offensively since they lost to the Niners, and they've, for all intents and purposes, still look the same.
Scored enough points to win that game. 31 points is enough to beat the Cardinals.
Right.
By any other team.
You would think, right?
I concur.
Yeah, exactly.
I concur. Right. You would think that'd be enough, but that's why it goes back to my point. The defense is going to let y'all down. That defense is not going to be any better than what we've seen all year. It's not even regular season worthy. So you get into the playoffs, that defense is not going to help you unless they do what the Colts did in their run. When they won their Super Bowl, how bad their defense was all year. They was giving up, 5,000 yards a game.
Absolutely.
But then all of a sudden, they came in and they tightened up and they rocked out. So unless you get some type of miracle performance like that,
we saving it, man. We saving it. We saving it. We saving it for prime time, man. We saving it.
Listen, the only thing I think the Eagles that can help the Eagles in this giant win, and again, it won't even matter, right? Even if the Eagles lose, right? All right, if we go by what we think is going to happen, if Dallas wins in Washington, this game with the Eagles won't matter, right? They're going to be the 5th seed no matter what happens. So if you're the Eagles, that's what the Eagles are going to have to do.
No. I'm talking about what you just said. They're going to be the 5th seed no matter what.
They'll be the 5th seed no matter what. So they're going to end up playing
So you guys know you're not going to lose, right?
I don't think we will lose. I'm concerned. I just don't want Dallas to beat Dallas, but we should win this game.
Well,
even though we played poorly on the road, but we should beat this game. We should win this game. But I'm saying, my point is, if everything goes according to what people suspect, the only thing, and to Scrap's point, if they get the 5th seed, it's a new season, right? That's the only, to me, psychologically, you could put solace in that to say, okay, no matter what happened, it is what it was. We're 0-0, right? Everybody starts fresh. But at the end of the day, you just don't, again, but that defense and how deplorable it's been all year, that bad. It's not like a couple of bad games or, you had a little tough stretch and then all of a sudden, like the Niners defense for a minute looked susceptible, right? When they was on that 3-game losing streak.
Why are we talking about the number 1 seed?
No, I'm just saying but y'all had some stretches, right? But then y'all locked up, y'all locked in, and y'all started to play to the level once y'all got Debo and Williams back, y'all started to, okay, we got to get back to our identity. I just feel like the Eagles, even though, and you did put up enough points against the Cardinals, not a great defensive team per se, but what I'm saying is that you're still going to need that defense to play. If you think you're going to just ride on the offense, which has all been close call games, y'all won close games, you were battle tested, but that's not sustainable. And then yes, that
what I can say is,
but not with that defense though.
Even this is the time after this week. This is the time of year now. This is the time of year where a win is a win. All the regular season, I don't subscribe to that newsletter, but during the playoffs, a win is a win. is definitely acceptable. So all we got to do is be 1 point better than any team we play. That's all we got to do is be 1 point better. That's it. Now during the regular season, we can chop and dissect it all we need to, you know, because I wasn't accepting none of that win is a win during the regular season. But now, now a win is a win. All we got to do is just win. That's it. I don't care what we do.
So there's suggestions on the chat that maybe potentially both of your teams lose. And in that case, if both teams lose, what, the Eagles clinch, right? Is that correct?
That would be the case, yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've said this, and we can get a score prediction and maybe move on. I think that the Eagles.
No, I don't think they would. They don't want because we still end up with a better division record than them. If they were to happen to lose to the Giants, we would end up with a better because we would have only lost. No, I don't know. That's a good question, D. I don't know.
We both have 2 division losses.
Yeah, because we done. Then we still got right. Because we lost to the Eagles, and then we had lost to the Commanders, and y'all would have lost to Dallas and
the Giants.
The Giants. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all didn't lose to Washington, right? Y'all swept Washington. So
Absolutely not. Yeah.
And you guys both lost to Arizona. So I guess I don't know if it goes strength of schedule or whatever.
Yeah, the conference will be next after the division.
If it goes strength of schedule, Eagles win.
Yeah, if it goes strength of schedule, we definitely win.
No, but they will go with the conference wins after the division wins. So if we tied in division wins, I believe then they'll look at the conference and how we fared in the conference.
And
okay.
So how you think y'all? Okay, but hopefully
you guys we got 3 conference losses, I think. No.
Yeah, y'all lost to Seattle,
Cardinals, Niners, and y'all.
Niners.
We got 4. We got 4.
Will they base it off of who lost by a greater margin to the Niners? Maybe
you know what?
I maybe that was coming.
They may do it like 42.
42. The 42s are coming there. Then SKRAPP would win because SKRAPP was 9 points better than Dallas. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, so it's
okay. So let's get a score.
I got for the Giants and Eagles. Now Devontae is out. And so I think it's a lot of pressure on AJ. I'm just doing a quick. I'm gonna give you a score, D. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking this through for a quick second. You know, Giants at home. Eagles has just been playing by the chinny chin every game. So I don't know. I thought the Eagles was gonna win last week without a doubt, man. It was shocking to see how they held.
Oh, he's just gonna rub it in. You see him rubbing it in?
Because I had y'all like I didn't even.
I thought we moved on. I thought we moved on.
I thought we moved on.
But you know what? He didn't pick his team last week. He didn't pick his team to win.
No, I didn't. Yeah, but you know, Brad. You know. Brad
he's
Allen,
gonna do that.
You know,
he's gonna do that all the way into.
Nah. Until we get to the NFC Championship, then I'll say we're gonna lose to the Niners. You know,
y'all not going. Y'all not going to the NFC Championship. Y'all not going to the NFC Championship. You got a score? What's your score?
No, what's my score? I'm sorry, fellas. So I'm going 23. I'm going 23-20 Eagles. I think it's gonna be
23-20.
Yeah.
I'm Cowboys are currently 8-3 in the conference. Eagles are 7-4.
All right, that makes sense.
Thanks, James, for the research. Appreciate that, bro.
All right, that makes sense. I'm gonna say that I like us to go over 30 again, even without Devontae. I'm looking for a big Goddard game and a big Swift game. So I'm gonna say we're gonna go over 30 again. So I'm gonna say 33-20, 33-20.
Okay, I'm right along with you. I think the Eagles, although this is not Saturday games where we're talking about style points, I think for their own confidence moving into the playoffs, I think they're going to have to put up a significant number to show that, hey, they're still contenders, right? Because they started off so well, and then as good of a team that was in the Super Bowl last year, I think they've kind of lost their luster. So now they're like an afterthought. So I think they're going to put up, I would say 35-21 Eagles.
Okay. It's about the same thing.
Yep. Okay.
So what's up?
Let's talk about the Commanders and the Cowboys. This is what you've been waiting for. Or you want to talk the Niners Rams? We can quickly go through the Niners.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
let's talk Niners Rams.
Niners Rams. Let's do that.
San Francisco 49ers. really have nothing to play for, right? They've locked up the number 1 seed. They've already ruled out a lot of players already. And so I think from a standpoint, and we're not going to have time on this show, but I just want to say, every headline that I read was talking about the biggest playoff, the biggest Pro Bowl snub. And who was that? Brandon Ayuk. Look, you could. Rod doesn't want to believe it.
It was.
But Brandon Ayuk got snubbed.
He made, yeah. I thought he got it.
Who made it ahead of him?
Didn't they make it as a replacement? He wasn't a replacement. I think he got it as a replacement.
He shouldn't have been a replacement. He should have been a Pro Bowl. He should have been a starter.
Who got voted in over him though? Like the usuals, Justin Jefferson.
It's a popularity.
Yeah, because did Jefferson even play enough games, really?
I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They pick who they want to pick.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
Rod will feel good about Puka Nacua. Thank you. He was picked over him.
He had a great season. He didn't have a good season. So he doesn't deserve to get in there. He didn't have a good season. Is that what you're trying to say? His numbers was just as better and had more receptions than Ayuk. Ayuk don't have the receptions.
So if we base it off of, okay, well, we're not going to go into that because that will be the balance of the show. I would say this overall. I think the Niners are going to be hopefully smart about it. We're going to have a Sam Darnold sighting, which is that's good. Brock Purdy, who is a Pro Bowler. The 49ers, who have the most Pro Bowlers this season. We have 9 Pro Bowlers. Really should have been upwards of 10 or 11. There were some snubs. But
he wants to represent the whole NFC, this guy, man. This guy, I'm telling you, Scrap, you can't give, it's his world, and he still wants more. He still wants more.
I'm just, we have 9 Pro Bowlers, do we not?
Yeah, but now you say we should have 11. We should have 14. In fact, the whole 49ers should have represented the NFC. No, why not? It should have been the AFC versus the
49ers.
Yeah, that's really what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Like, God.
Who you like in that game? You like the Niners in that game against the AFC?
Yeah, right. Can we get a score?
Yeah, can we get a score of 49ers versus AFC?
I like our chances. I think we can handle business.
You think you can pull it off?
I think
we can figure. I think we can figure it out against the whole Pro Bowl team. Yeah, but in any case, I think this game, from a standpoint of what is to gain, nothing's to gain for the Niners. I do anticipate a lot of backup players getting an opportunity, and a lot of Jordan Mason, maybe some Elijah Mitchell is in the running back position. CMC is going to be on ice for a few weeks. Probably Trent's not going to play, And I think maybe the Rams win this game. Maybe they don't. I think we'll still be our backups, because we are such a deep team. I think it'll still be a competitive game. But for us, the biggest thing is health. Winning the game, this game is of no consequence. But overall, staying healthy, that gives us the best shot for confetti in Vegas in February. What do you guys say?
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, honestly, I don't really think y'all going to the Super Bowl. I ain't want to be the one to tell it to you, but yeah.
Thank you, James. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, James. But yeah,
Rod doesn't understand simple math either. But
that's 30 more receptions, 50 more. There we go with that again. Here we go with the targets. And again, my defense to the targets is because of what? He's not a number 1 option, and he doesn't.
So is Puka number 1 option?
Yes, he is. In the passing game, yes, he's clearly past Cooper.
Really?
Who did he talk about? He said, who did he talk? He talking about? Wait, go back to the thing again. Yeah, Puka has surpassed Cooper Kupp as being their number 1 target. Kupp is still a threat, obviously, but Puka, he's had a great season, and it's about receptions. He don't even have. Ayuk ain't even got over 80 receptions yet. He'll probably get it tomorrow. They'll probably throw him the ball, which they'll probably.
I don't think he's playing tomorrow.
He's not playing tomorrow. Okay, so that's not. And then he's not.
Why would he?
It's the receptions. And you don't get the targets because he's not the number 1 threat. No one is planning a game plan to stop Ayuk. Ayuk benefits Again, that's why you don't get the targets. That's simple. Look at the game. Forget the stats. Look at the game. Why does he not get the ball like that? Because you got other guys. Debo makes life easy for Ayuk. Put Ayuk put him on the Texans. Get him on the Colts. Get him on a team that needs a receiver, and then see if he can be a number one. Then we'll see if he's a true number one. He's not a true number one. He don't even play against the best corners in the game. The best corners don't even cover him.
I take it you haven't looked at his college tape like I suggested.
Oh my God!
No, I'm just
no. I did not. I just didn't see I didn't see the relevance in the.
Didn't see the value in it. Got it.
Yeah, I didn't understand it.
So you're talking from a place of not knowing, and that's fine. Ignorance is bliss.
But then I could say, but what does that have to do with what? So CD had a great college career. A lot of guys played good in college.
You said he is only used. He's only used in a certain way, and you question his ability to run the route tree. And so I suggested to you to watch his college tape, and every route is on display, as opposed to being with a team that has the best running back, a top 5 tight end. You have arguably another top 5 wide receiver, all-purpose gamer in Debo. You're not gonna get, but you still have 1,300 yards. It makes sense to me, right?
Because the reality is, and again, when you look at all the top receivers, they don't average out 18, 19 yards a catch. Only your receivers that run intermediary routes like what Ayuk runs, he's going to get a lot of yards per catch because that's how they use him. So that's the making sense part of it. That it has nothing to do with the yardage. The number one receivers in the league, when you look at guys like you look at Brown, you look at Mike Evans who made it over him, AJ Brown who made it over him in the Pro Bowl. You could look at other guys that are number one in the league. Look at Devontae Smith. He has more yards per catch than AJ Brown because of how they use Devontae Smith. And the reality is, you can tell me about the route trees.
He does not.
And you could how many yards per carry? James, let me get a minute because I'm trying to make my argument here. I have to look it up. But when you look at the fact that, again, how they use him, those are guys that stretch the field. They're not possession receivers like that. Okay, Debo's a possession receiver. That's not Ayuk. Ayuk is not catching the ball between, running stick routes and running slants and catching balls between tight ends. Linebackers. Ayuk is not catching those passes. Now, you saying he can run those routes. He probably can. But that's at the college level. Can he run all those routes against the best corners in the league? When you got teams playing double coverage on him, got a safety over the top, then we need to see if he is that dude. That we don't know that yet. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Ayuk is a bad receiver. Ayuk is a really good receiver.
But you're making the suggestion.
But he's not a number one.
And see, that's not accurate. You're making the suggestion that because he's not getting double teamed on a team with a running back with 2,000 all-purpose yards, 1,000-yard tight end,
that's why
another 1,000.
That's why he's not getting every point you bring out. That's all the more reason why he's not getting double teamed.
But you can't really double team nobody on there. Like everybody's pretty much on the island. Yeah, everybody's pretty much on the island.
Right.
You can't double team nobody on the Niners. Who you going to double team?
When you look at a number one receiver demands double team. Well, he's going to demand the best corner on that team, on the opposite team. Ayuk is not getting that. Brock's only good because what she's saying in air quotes, right, to be facetious. Funny as a number one Pro Bowl wide receiver. Do I think Ayuk should have made the Pro Bowl? Yeah, I do think he should have made the Pro Bowl. I do.
Debo didn't make it either?
No.
Wow.
They just don't have the look. They're gonna look at numbers.
It's
right?
a popularity contest.
It ain't no popularity contest. But yeah, he got 11 guys in the Pro Bowl. Okay, got it. How many guys you got in the Pro Bowl?
We have 9. We have
9 guys, and so it's a popularity contest. Y'all got more players in the Pro Bowl than any team in the NFC, and it's a pop. See how it is? How you gonna complain about the selection and you got 9 players, and they're not even your best players in the league? The best players on your team per se, right? And you still got 9 guys. You got the Juszczyk is in the Pro Bowl, the fullback.
Yeah, because he's the only fullback in the league.
He's the best. He's not the only. He's the best.
No, I don't know. I can't name no other fullbacks. I think y'all the only team that still use a fullback, actually.
Let me see, because they did have. Oh yeah, wait, here it is, right here. So the fullbacks, yeah, you checked, and then in the AFC, their fullback is is let me see. I can't.
Exactly, that guy.
Yeah, the AFC got a fullback too. I can't.
Got
I
a
can't
fullback.
find it. Yeah, they got a fullback. Yeah, they got a full. Each conference got a fullback. I forget who the fullback was in there.
And I bet you he's the starting fullback for the AFC.
Yeah, he's starting fullback for the AFC. Exactly.
I think he plays on the Ravens, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I believe so too, D. Yeah.
Not Edwards.
No. I forget his name, but I think he plays on the Ravens.
The world forget his name.
But in any case,
okay, but go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Patrick Ricard. Ricard is the
okay.
Picard. There it is. Yeah,
Captain Picard, man, Star Wars dude, Star Trek dude, man. Captain
Alec
Picard.
Ingold. He has a whole bunch. Nah.
Yeah, Ingold.
D needs a surprise. Okay, cool. Long story short, I think whether the Niners win or lose, it doesn't matter. We are going to we'll have, because there'll be a lot less games. We're going to take a deeper dive into playoffs, and we're going to take a deeper dive into Pro Bowl, who should be there, who shouldn't be there. But I will just pose this question before we move on and get the scores. If a player, a wide receiver, whether you think he's a number 1, number 2, number 5, he has 67 less targets and has only 300 yards less than a bona fide. Rodney says CeeDee Lamb is a bona fide, unquestioned number 1. He runs the slant. He runs all routes.
And plays against.
He has 67, all double. They're triple teaming him. Everybody is all over CeeDee Lamb. 67 more targets than one Brandon Ayuk, and only has 300 more yards and 5 total touchdowns more than Brandon Ayuk. If someone can, in the comments or anyone watching, could make it make sense that Brandon Ayuk is not a number 1 receiver, with his numbers on that offense, he still puts up those numbers. Rod won't. I don't understand why, with 67 more targets, either Brandon Ayuk is not a number 1 receiver or CeeDee Lamb is an underachiever. That's my take. Because if you're getting that many targets,
D, that argument makes no sense, bro. It makes no sense. That means nothing either, James. It makes no sense because, again, you're talking about usage. You're talking about, again, who
usage
is
matters. That is my point.
Feature,
usage.
Who's featured in usage, right? And why is Ayuk not being used to the degree of how other number 1 receivers
Do you have a Kittle on your team?
No, I don't. That's all.
Do you have a Deebo Samuels on your team?
No, we don't have those guys.
Do you have a running back?
And yet CeeDee still has CeeDee's got almost as many yards as Tyreek Hill. Everyone went saying he's gonna go for 2,000 yards.
But like last week in that game,
we ain't even got the weapons y'all got.
Last week in that game, Dak had 20 at one point he had 24 completions and 13 went to CD. Remember when I said you OD on CD?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what he did. Like,
I
can see if he had other options.
Why would you not get the ball to your best players? I mean, it was a stretch when AJ Brown was.
That's his only go-to for real.
That's my point. And if he's the go-to and still putting up those numbers as a go-to, you can't take away from him if he is getting.
It's not taken away. But what Don's argument is, if Ayuk got the same volume of, if he was the go-to on a team like that where he's the only guy, that he would have similar or better numbers. Am I getting that right, Don?
Absolutely.
No,
okay. But 67
but that's
more targets, 300 more yards.
But D,
what does that?
Okay, let me ask you a question. Do you think Ayuk is better than those other players that are on his team? Those other Pro Bowl guys that have made Pro Bowls throughout their career? Is Ayuk better than in the overall scheme? And I know what you're going to tell me. Debo's a different type of player. They use him differently, right? But could Debo still line up? What if they didn't use Debo as a running threat and just had him straight up split wide as a number 1 receiver, or even in the slot still, and let him run routes and catch balls? You don't think he can get 100 receptions in a game? And I mean in a year?
I'm sure.
If they think about it, you think so?
But as a
are you better than Deebo Samuels?
As a receiver? As strictly a receiver.
As strictly a receiver.
Yes, he's better. Yes.
There's no way.
He's better.
No way. D.
So is CeeDee Lamb better than Deebo Samuel?
As a receiver, I think so.
No,
yes.
now it's as a receiver.
As a receiver. As an overall football player, no, because Deebo is a guy who's versatile in the way he plays the game. He can run the ball. They give CeeDee.
Hey, Joey Burns.
Thank you, Joe. What's up?
Joey Burns. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm pulling for the Giants, Joe.
And
I hope they handle business.
On most other teams.
Oh, really? That's what we're doing?
I called Joe and told him to join the show since you got Rosie all the time. I said, Joe, join the show. I know you're a Giants fan.
Right, I forgot to have my goon on deck, man. Oh, next show I gotta make sure Rosie know.
So we're gonna find out because I just saw an interview with Jamar Chase, right? And T. Higgins is a number 2. He's playing in a number 2 role because clearly Jamar Chase is their number 1. And Jamar Chase, they were asking him, was he going to take kind of a pay cut or whatever? He said, no, I'm taking all of my money, every dime that I'm expecting to get. And so they asked, will T. Higgins be on the team? Well, it really depends. He's not sure. He ain't taking no pay cut for him. So pay, usage, all of that matters in how a player is used. If you had a running back if the Cowboys had a running back, any running back. I don't think you even have do you have a running back?
Kinda.
D.
Some dude named Pollard.
But you're still, that's the point I'm trying to make
Deuce
to you.
Vaughn.
Is why is Shanahan using Ayuk the way he used him? Because that's what he is good at. And when you have to put that in the mix with those other assets that are clearly just as better than Ayuk, then Ayuk only has a role. At the end of the day, he gets the benefit of not having to see the level of competition defensively that CD gets.
But he's your CD is the man on your team, right?
Yeah, and they can't stop him. Yes, they play. When you play the Cowboys, the number 1 dude you trying to take out the game at least is CeeDee Lamb. So the only reason why Dallas does it because Dallas stopped. We would not go to CD. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But when we go to CD,
hey, Ryan, can I ask a question? Last week, out of those, however many receptions CD had, how many targets did he have?
He had like 17 targets in that game.
17 targets and 12 catches.
Why? Because we took advantage of a bad corner because that corner Cotton or whoever that dude is, he's bad for Detroit. He was a liability right off the rip. And I don't know why Detroit didn't try to help him or whatever they tried to do. But again, if you put a double team on CD can still beat you underneath. Ayuk is not doing that. Ayuk and Joe said
how do you know?
We don't know, but that's what I'm trying to tell you, D. So how do you know? That's the question I was saying to you early in the argument this year. We don't know if Ayuk is a number 1 until he's in a position to be a number 1. Until you take away the CMCs and the Debos out of his life and put him in Houston, put him in Indianapolis, okay? Put him in a team that needs a number 1 and then see how he plays then. We don't know.
You know what I'm going to do? My son plays Madden. I'm going to have him trade Ayuk to one of those teams where he'll be the number 1 receiver that got a good quarterback. And I'm going to have him simulate the season. I'm going to report back. I'm see.
Madden will give you some reality based on how they rate the players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
all the players be beefing about their ratings. Some of them, you know what I'm saying, or how Madden rates the players.
I'm gonna get my son on that as soon as he wakes up because he don't wake up until he gets ready to. So when he wakes up, Elijah, the rug maker, I'm gonna have him do that for me.
Nah, it's common sense, James. It's not. It's common sense. It's
simple math.
Number 1,
James. It's simple math.
You're going by math, but you're not watching the game. Look at the game. The game is not about the math. It's about how the game is schemed, how the game is played. Come on, James. You watch football. You gotta watch the game. You gotta look at the game plan, how players are used. You can say the same thing basketball, just the same. A guy could be shooting 43% from 3-point range, but if he don't take the same amount of attempts as another guy, then that you can't put that in perspective. That's why do you think they say per attempts or per attempts or per games? For their number to be real, it's got to be within. There's got to be within a certain amount of games to make that stat real. You know what I'm saying? A guy who shot 1 ball and got it in, he's shooting 100% from the field. Well, you can't say he's a better field goal shooter than a guy who's taking 19, 20 shots a game. That's, of course, his percentage is going to go. Why do we say KD's efficient? because KD takes a lot. He can take a minimum amount of shots and still make it, and he can take a lot of shots.
Now you want to use KD as a reference?
No, I'm using the efficiency standpoint. That's the efficiency point.
You don't like KD.
KD still did his sucker move.
You don't like KD.
But I'm trying to make my argument in terms of percentage.
You don't like BA, and now you want to use them as reference.
No, I like Brandon Ayuk. I have nothing wrong. I have nothing against Brandon Ayuk. Brandon Ayuk is a very good receiver. Is he a number one? That stands in question. We don't know. He's not on a team with that type of with players such as what he has in San Fran. We don't know. D, is that a fair argument or not? Do you know? Can you unequivocally say that Ayuk is a number one receiver?
I can.
You can. So he's the number one. So he's the number one threat. So he's the number one receiver on your team. Number one threat. Everything. Because that's what a number one is, though. D.
By the eye test that you said, right? By the eye test that you said. Is he the number one team currently? Is he the number one player on our team currently? Absolutely not. If you have CMC, you have Debo, you have Kittle.
Then that's my
But his numbers should not reflect comparable to a end-all be-all number one on your team.
Okay,
is my point.
Okay, you say that argument, but then you got to take it further. You're not adding the other elements to that. You can say, well, his numbers are comparable to CD and he's not number one. But then why is that? Because he doesn't get the same level of attention. That's also the reason why. So you got to put that into account. Nobody is scheming all night. No defensive coordinators are losing sleep over Ayuk. They're losing sleep over how to stop CMC.
Was Chris Carter number one when Randy Moss was there?
Yes, he was. When Chris Carter, when Randy Moss was a rookie and got there, Chris Carter was still the number one receiver. He was.
For how many games?
Until about the first 2-3 years, and then that was it.
No. You're bugging.
No, we not.
First 3 games. You're bugging.
Time out. Time out.
I mean, not 3 games. I'm like years. I didn't mean to say games. I meant to say years.
No, I'm saying games.
I'm saying games. You did say what you meant to say. You said like 3 years. So you telling me Chris Carter was the number one receiver after?
Do y'all forget that Chris Carter is a Hall of Famer? Like y'all trying to. I mean,
so was Randy Moss.
Hall of Famer.
So was Randy Moss.
Right, but Randy Moss. But Chris Carter was already balling out.
I understand that
before he was so.
But in the pecking order of the greatest receivers, who is first? Chris Carter or Randy Moss?
Randy Moss went on to have a great career because Chris Carter obviously started to they were in different seasons of their lives when they was playing in the game. Carter was getting older, so of course Randy Moss was younger then. So
I understand that,
and eventually had a better career.
Drop-off, but at the end of the day, right? They're both Hall of Famers, right? I don't know how many seasons each one played. I don't know if Chris Carter played longer or if Randy Moss played longer. Bottom line is, when in the hierarchy of receivers, is Chris Carter named or even mentioned with obviously Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens, Randy Moss? He's not even a top 5 receiver.
He's not. But you asked the question when he got into the league, was he better than Chris Carter at that time? No, he was not. Chris Carter was older than Randy Moss. Like,
so how many games?
You think they came at the same time?
But no, how many games did it take? How many games did it take for Moss to take over as the number one receiver?
How many games? I mean, I don't know how many. I don't even think it was that many games. I think it was coming into it was about at least a couple of years when that happened. I'm trying to pull up their stats right now, bro. I'm trying to pull up their stats. I can't go for
a couple years, man. I can't go for a couple years. Yeah, I give him like 6 or 7 games, man. I give him like 6 or 7 games.
All right, so we
okay.
Let's,
go ahead.
We'll come back to this.
Yeah, we'll
maybe next show, right? Where we can really delve into
good. Yeah, this was getting
49ers, good. Rams, 49ers. It doesn't even matter. 27-20 49ers. It doesn't matter to me. We just need to stay healthy. That's it.
Well, we got
Randy Moss came in the league in 1998. By the way, Chris Carter was in the league at 87. So you're talking about a 10-year difference. So your argument makes no sense whatsoever when you talk about how he eventually usurped Chris Carter, who was already in the league nearly 10 years before Randy Moss even got there.
Okay, but we saying once he got there,
we said once we got there,
right? But
who's the number one receiver?
Right, when he got there, he began to be the number one receiver. But
you said.
Okay, let me.
When Randy Moss got there, they were on the same team. It took years for Randy Moss to be the number one receiver.
Absolutely not.
So in 1998, the year that he got there, right? The year that he got there.
One drop. Right, Courtney.
Exactly.
No. In 1998, right? Hold on one second. In 1998, who am I looking at right here? Hold on one second. Chris Carter. In 1998, this is the year that Randy Moss got there. Okay, he had 125 targets that year. Okay, 125 targets, and he had 78 receptions for 1,011 yards. Okay, that's in 1998. That's the same year. 1998. Okay, 1998. He had 69 receptions. This is Randy Moss now with 1,300 yards, but he averaged 19 yards a catch. Okay, so you can make the argument that they both. He was a deep. Same thing like Ayuk. Ayuk is a even though Purdy don't throw the deep ball, although he doesn't throw the deep ball, Purdy that is. But Ayuk runs longer routes because he runs beyond the quarter routes. That's what he does.
You just destroyed your argument in that right there. I just told you.
So if he had 60,
you put one behind the ear of your argument right there. When you said that was one behind the ear. It made no sense. Randy Moss, who you said was kind of the number 2 when he played with Chris Carter as a rookie, had more yards per catch and more total yards, and it seems like
they only played 2 years.
7 less receptions.
Right. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. So then what I'm saying is, for all intents and purposes, Carter was still balling when Randy Moss got there. He was still balling. Now, he took over Carter left. Remember, Carter went to your team, Scrap. He went to the Eagles, right? I know. So that's what I'm trying to say. So Chris Carter only played 2 years. He only played 2 years with Randy Moss.
We're not disputing that, but we just saying that when Randy Moss got on the team, he became the number 1 receiver. That's all we were saying. You said it took 2 or 3 years. Like, absolutely not.
No, okay. That's why I had to research, because my memory wasn't clear.
That's why I say how many games. I was being generous giving Carter games. I said how many games before Moss took over. Like, I'm giving him like 4 or 5.
And he says, and James makes a good point. We do penalize, Rod penalizes BA for the scheme that he plays in, which is not fair. And he starts to question, well, CD runs every route. He doesn't do this. He's only utilized in this. You're right, Rod. So think about this and we can move on. Mm-hmm. Brandon Ayuk is utilized in a very small, minute window of how his usage is.
Right.
Yet he still has 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns.
That's impressive.
But that to you doesn't speak that if he's utilized, if he's put on the team as a bona fide number 1, unquestioned. You give him CeeDee Lamb's usage. Switch him. Put him on the Cowboys. You put CeeDee Lamb with the Niners. CeeDee Lamb doesn't have the same numbers that he has currently.
That's what I'm going to do.
That's what I'm going to do. I doubt that, because I'm going to tell you why. Because CD is a player. I guarantee you, if CD was in Kyle Shanahan's system, he would not be used the way Ayuk is used. No way. You're not using CD to have
more yards, more touchdowns,
more yards, more receptions, more everything. He will still ball out. In fact, he would be used a whole lot differently. In fact, you might even see Debo not being used. Those other guys might get shifted a little bit, because CD, as good as he is and as gifted as a player he is, you're not limiting him the way you use Ayuk in Shanahan's offense. Give Kyle Shanahan a CD Lamb and see if he uses.
So you saying Lamb will go there and like dominate the touches and everything? Like
he would get a lot more touches and get used a lot in a different way. They
would just abandon their whole thing that's been working because they got CD Lamb. I didn't say no. You see, you put words in my mouth. I'm not saying he would abandon it. I'm saying he would but he wouldn't be used to the limitations of Ayuk. He would be way more used in a lot of different ways, okay, than what you see Ayuk being used right now in Shanahan's offense.
The current construction of our team with CMC, Debo.
I can't get behind that.
CMC with Debo. No. Because he's a better receiver than Ayuk, bro. He's a better. If you just put natural ability between CeeDee Lamb and Ayuk, CeeDee Lamb is a better receiver. If y'all get on this live and try to tell me that just regardless of teams, Look at their draft position. Look at their careers in college, D, if you want to go back to that. And then you look at their career in the NFL right now. There's no way you're going to tell me. Now, if you're going to be an honest football fan, you can't tell me that CeeDee Lamb is not better than Ayuk as a receiver. Regardless of what system, where you just put them two men together, you cannot tell me Ayuk is better than CeeDee Lamb. There's no way you're going to tell me.
We won't know that because one is like the only guy that gets the ball thrown to him, and the other guy is
Thank you, James. I'm sorry.
No,
I didn't mean to cut you off.
He's saying it sarcastically. He's saying it sarcastically.
Is that sarcastic, James? Is that sarcastic?
Yes.
Oh,
he said he thinks.
Okay, my bad.
Thank you, James.
I read that wrong. I read that wrong.
No,
I read that wrong.
James. Thank
Honestly,
you,
though, no. Listen. But the truth is, there is some truth to that to some degree. And again, we don't know. Now, Cooks had 4 1,000-yard seasons with 4 different teams, okay? And he was a number one in that degree, right? But what happens with Cooks when he gets to Dallas? Now, again, Dallas not using him properly, of course, the way that they should, but Cooks is not a CeeDee Lamb. He was there to be a number 2 to take the top off the defense for CeeDee Lamb. That's what he was there for. But that's Cooks' primary role. Now, I can't go back to what the teams when he was in New Orleans and Houston and
thanks, Joe. Thanks for reminding me. Sorry. Thanks for reminding me, Joe. Couldn't have done it without you. Said we drafted Jalen Reagor over Justin Jefferson. Thanks, Joe. Always count on you.
Always count.
So, all right, fellas.
Yeah, you defeated the
We got to wrap
right
this
there.
up. We got to wrap it up.
Okay, all right, we got to wrap it up.
We're going to, I promise, next show, please, everyone that is adding to the comments, we're going to take a deep dive into numbers. We're going to do player comparisons, and we're going to really get to the nitty-gritty.
Yeah.
Okay, so the Niners, I think they'll win 27-20. If we lose, as long as we stay healthy. What's your scores, fellas?
I got the Niners.
The Niners,
yeah,
okay.
Niners, yeah, I got the Niners. And y'all not playing no starters, right? Purdy and all those guys ain't playing?
No, I think most of them.
Sam Darnold. Oh, man.
We got a Sam Darnold side.
Nobody's going to be on the sideline for the Niners.
Darnold versus Wentzwagen. I'm going Rams. 21-17. 21-17 Rams.
21-17. Cool. Okay. Ryan, what do you have?
Yeah, actually, you know what? I think the Rams will win this game only because I don't even think the Niners I don't think they're going to really get anything other than evaluating some of the depth players to a degree to just see how they play, not necessarily to win the game. So, I'm actually going to take the Rams in this game. I'm going to take the Rams in this game. I'm going to go 24. Yeah, 24-20.
No problem. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's
not to get better, but this because this the way.
No, it's okay. It's all good. One seed. Don't matter. All right.
Yeah.
Cowboys Commanders. We're gonna have to fly through these because we got off on a
okay. All right.
A tangent. We went on a tangent.
Yeah.
Okay. We did. This is so passionate with me and D. When it comes to Ayuk and Lamb. Yeah, we're gonna have to really I'm about to do some reels now, man. I'm about to do some reels and really.
You should.
Yeah.
You should.
I need to now. Yeah,
Cowboys. Cowboys play the Commanders. I think ultimately the Cowboys should win this game. Micah Parsons was talking and he was speaking on, I guess the mentality going into the game, what they should be trying to do, their approach to it. And I heard a few people say that the Cowboys need to go into it as if it's a playoff game already. Come in with that mentality because it decides the division, it decides the seeding, and they should go into it looking to win. What do you guys say?
I agree with him. They better go in there looking to win. But if he want them to go in there, in their playoff form, then I don't think he want that. I think he want them to be a different form because we know what they do in the playoffs. So that's true. So Micah might want to be careful what he asks for. So I'm going with the Commodores in this one, man. I'm going Commodores 24, Dallas 20. 24-20 Commodores. I just said the same thing. And I didn't even see your comment.
He said if they view it as a playoff game, they'll lose.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, listen, but that's a fair argument, man. I'm not going to retort that because that's Dallas right now, right? Until we prove otherwise, that's the narrative for the Cowboys. It's all about the playoffs, right? We were saying it all year long. Week 18, that's what my brother-in-law keep telling me. Week 18, that's what matters for the Cowboys, not the first 17 weeks. So no, and I agree with that. Dallas got to win this game. We should win this game, and we should dominate this game. Dallas needs to win this game to even prove to ourselves psychologically that we can actually get a win, a road win, in a real dominant fashion. The only road win we really had that was dominant like that was against obviously a bad team, and that was in Carolina. And we went on the road against bad teams, but good teams we don't play well against on the road. So that's why winning this game, we'll get guaranteed at least 2 home playoff games, depending on how the other matchups fall down, and then we won't have to see a road game until the NFC Championship in Levi. So that's the whole thing. That's what you hope for. So we control our own destiny. Thank you for the gift that Philly gave us last week, losing to the Cardinals. And so we got to take advantage of that. I appreciate that, Scrap. Thanks, man. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie. I appreciate that. That was a
no
good
problem, man. We just let y'all see how our seat
feels.
All right, so we got
What's your score? What's your score?
My score, real quick, is I'm going Dallas.
That's a shot.
27. No, I'm gonna go Dallas 27-10.
27-10. Okay.
27-10. Mm-hmm.
All right.
And we might see a Cooper Rush sighting.
Oh God. Okay. I got the Cowboys winning 30 to 14.
30-14. Okay.
14. Yeah, that's
okay.
Sounds good.
What you got, Scrap? Did you give a score already?
Yeah, I gave a score. I forgot what I said, but I think I said 24-20.
But you got Washington, right?
Absolutely. Commodores.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you picked the Commodores.
Zoom. Commodores. We're going to zoom, man. Yeah, we're going to zoom. Let's go
Sunday morning.
Or Sunday afternoon.
Yeah,
it's all
diversity.
panel.
This is a wild
diversity, bro.
It is a lot of diversity on.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Appreciate that. Oh yeah.
Okay, so I'll say this. Last but not least, and we got to wrap up.
Okay.
Bills in Miami. This is for the division. Okay. Miami had a good, comfortable lead. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, from unexplainable games that they lost, bad coaching decisions by keeping players in a game that they had already, it was already a lost game. They are going into what is the most important game of the season thus far. They're limping into it. Okay. And, our hearts go out to Tyreek. He had a tragedy. I don't know if his house burned down. There was a kid playing with a lighter. The fire started. Thank God nobody was injured. Of course, Anything we lose, we can always get back possessions, right? Yeah. Life is most important. But that is a distraction now. Your family is displaced. I mean, he probably has wings to his house.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Stay off the fire wing, whatever.
Yeah,
that might be the case. But still, going into it, not being 100% physical, you're playing for the division. Waddle, I don't know if he's playing. I don't think he's playing. You got.
I think he's out.
You got Chubb that's done for the season in a game where you were already losing by 30 points. You got Tua with an arm issue. The Bills are going to come because they understand that it's not we lose and then we fall to the 5th seed. They can lose that game and be out of the playoffs.
Right.
So I think the sense of urgency is going to be greater for the Bills.
Right.
Now, the Bills still have an outside chance of making the playoffs, even if they lose, but they need other teams to lose, right? And so you don't want to put your destiny in someone else's hands. When you get the number 2 seed, and because Miami is already in the playoffs, right? It's just a matter of where they're going to fall. I think that is going to make the difference. I think Miami found a terrible time to be injured. I mean, you don't plan it, but it happens that way.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be they got tough sledding. I do think the Bills roll. I think they beat them. I think they roll. And then Miami's chances of getting deep in the playoffs obviously are hampered, right? Because How do you go deep in the playoffs? Anytime that team goes on the road and you're a wild card team, your road to the ultimate goal becomes a lot harder. What do you guys say?
Yeah, I would say basically you're right, D. They're coming in hobbled, Miami that is. And I'm looking at the injury report. So Waddle and Mostert are actually questionable, but like you said, they're coming in hobbled. So and Howard is actually out, Xavier Howard. But they're coming in not full strength, right? And that's the thing. And I think psychologically, Mike McDaniels, I don't know, being the bonehead thing that he did by leaving, Chubb and the defense out there as long as he did when the game was already decided it was down literally by 30 points at the time. So, now you're thinking like, man, I got to really play cautious now. I got to coach cautiously. I can't let these guys get hurt and that sort of thing. So, yeah, this game, it's a wrap. Miami hobbled. Psychologically, I think they're still affected by the loss, losing Chubb in that sense. And I got Buffalo winning this. And like you said, it's one and done for them. This is a playoff game for them. So they got to win this game. So, yeah, I got Buffalo on this.
Yeah, I don't think the coach is really worrying about people getting hurt because he already got them hurt already. They shouldn't have been in the game. Chubb shouldn't have been in the game. They was getting shellacked. He shouldn't have been in the game. So him worrying about getting people hurt is coming a week too late for my liking. So, but I do like Buffalo. I like Buffalo to stomp them because, like you said, Buffalo is fighting for their playoff life. It's like they win a division and they lose, they're just out completely, or it got to be a whole bunch of stuff that go for them to get in. Like they need, Pittsburgh to win and like all this other stuff is one of those type of things.
Yeah. They need a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, you don't
want
to
lose, right?
Yeah, you don't ever want to put your fate into the hands of nobody else, no other teams. Because a team might lose on purpose just so you don't get in. So control what you can control. Win the game. I like Buffalo to win this game. I ain't gonna go too crazy, but I like Buffalo to win this game. Upwards of, I'm gonna say 31 to. I'm gonna donate Miami one of my 17s for this one. 31-17 Buffalo.
Okay, I like Buffalo to win. 38-20. Because remember, Buffalo already put it on them. That week that Miami put up 70, the next week they beat them by 25 plus. So I do, and I will say one more thing. If you guys didn't have an opportunity to watch Hard Knocks, you should hear the foolishness that McDaniel was telling Tua on the sideline after he got hurt, being in a game that they were down by 30 points. Yeah, you gotta look at it like this is the opportunity for you to take
throw with your other hand.
Whipping. He was like, you want to be ambidextrous. Did you watch Brooklyn Beards and Ball? His mom tried to make him ambidextrous. Dude, he's a left-handed quarterback. You have to preserve yourself in order to make the playoff run. Preserve. You got to watch it. And next show we'll discuss Mike McDaniel's soliloquy on the sideline to Tua when Tua is getting all kind of ice wrapped around his head and his shoulder. Yeah, just look at it. It's very fun. And it's just a fundamental, you got to take your losses. You got to take the crookeds and the straights. He was saying all kind of Denzel lines. I was like, what are you doing? Are you trying to go deep in the playoffs? This makes no sense.
Take the crookeds with the straights. I never heard that one.
That's a quote from the movie Fences. If you watch Fences with Denzel,
I gotta watch it.
Yeah. You got to take the crookeds with the straights. But in any case,
I like that.
That's funny.
Yeah. So, anything else? We're gonna wrap it up because I got something I got to do. I got to jump on another.
Do your thing. You good, D. It's still your
awesome
world.
Show,
world,
fellas.
Man. Yes.
Please join us, everyone that's on now. Please join us next week. We're gonna really, really have a lot of fun. Everybody's going to come correct with their numbers. We're going to prove in the Brooklyn Beards and Ball world, we're going to put Brandon Ayuk, and we're going to show that Brandon Ayuk is the number one receiver, and he's better than CD.
Yeah, we're gonna cover the facts. We're gonna cover with our facts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no doubt.
Oh man, sports fan, thanks for joining us, man. And you're a Niners fan too? Love
Plant.
it, brother.
What Cat
No,
Williams say
I
about
don't.
the plant?
I didn't know.
What Cat Williams say about the plants?
Right.
Oh, yeah, the plants, right. We don't know what that definition really means.
Shout out to sports fan though. Shout out to sports fan.
Yeah, sports fan, we appreciate you, bro.
Shout outs
real,
to James.
Man.
Shout outs to
Uncle Buck.
Courtney.
Shout out to Nelson. That's Uncle Buck. Shout out to Uncle Buck.
Man, we apprieate all of you for joining us.
Hey, God, we could use James as our statistician, but he may skew the numbers there, man. You know what I'm saying?
he's been straight up. He said some stuff that
he gonna come back and tell us IU got, you know what I'm saying, 5,000 yards in his you know what I'm saying, freshman season.
Well, you know Brandon Ayuk. I will say this. You know Brandon Ayuk got a full ride at 6 years old. That's a joke based off of Cat Williams. He was saying he got a full ride. You know Brandon Ayuk, they offered him a full scholarship. He had 12 college offers at 6 years old. But
read 3,000 books.
That's true. Really? I didn't know.
Read 3,000 books.
That's a joke, right? Did you see the Cat Williams interview?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did, but I didn't know you know, I understand because he's a reader.
He said he read 3,000 books.
I saw the whole interview. I saw the whole interview. Yeah,
it was actually a really
it was a really good interview. I think you know, we do talk culture on here. So in our next show, we gotta maybe talk about it a little bit. Because I still think Cat kind of played himself. You know what I'm saying? I still
we'll talk about that. We'll definitely talk about that next week.
Yeah.
Okay, but in any case, thanks for joining us. Please. Shout outs to Kingdom Creative for the production. Shout outs to Infinite Audio for the music. Once again, like, share, subscribe to our Facebook, YouTube page. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Rod, good luck. Scrap, good luck. We're going to be resting. You know.
Right. While we're fighting for our lives on Sunday.
Right. As you guys fight for your playoff lives. We'll be resting.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But until next time, everybody, thanks for joining us. Peace.
Peace.